Hey everyone, Natalie here. I have my book on silence. To use your voice, words hold power, and so I'm using my voice. So I'm all about days, and today is May the 23rd. It is my youngest son's birthday, and what an incredible journey we have had. Right now, it's like timelines are converging as my friend, we both have a similar alienation story of having our children poisoned against us by our abusers. And she was sabotaged. Her name is Christiana. I am doing a GoFundMe for her right now. I'll drop the link in the comments here. And for alienated people out there, for former domestic abusers, love for you to rally and to assist with the fundraiser. She is right now in a camp. And so my son's birth, May 23rd, 28 years ago. I'm going to read you a part of my book. It is page 141. Being alienated from my other two children had crippled me emotionally. I ran on automatic, though counseling school was helping to build an identity, a self. The daily routine is stabilizing. Yes, it is. We need routines. While still pregnant and in school, before the brothel, we'd found a German student near my college who allowed us to rent a room. Also, I would soon require it near the women's hospital. You must move after the baby, she stated flatly. Sandra's body language communicated that she thought SG was cute. My husband at that time, which is probably why she accepted us. SG and I lived on my student loans, and he roamed the streets looking for things to pawn while I was at school. Sometimes he came at lunchtime to harass me with questions, demands, and one time, as I sat on the sidewalk's edge, he screamed at me as people walked by. At that moment, I know what I should have done. I should have left the city and went to my parents. These are my words beyond the book. But I was too traumatized. I was frozen and I couldn't think clearly or take action. Here we go. We were still in Sandra's apartment 3 weeks before college ended and the baby's due date. A loan installment allowed me to purchase reading material and cover living expenses. A check came, unbeknownst to me, and SG somehow got his hands on that check and without my knowledge cashed it before we could secure another apartment. SG, who'd stayed sober with me throughout the pregnancy, lost his grip and binged all our money on booze and drugs just before the baby's arrival. I reeled inside and remained silent. Nothing surprises me. Sandra meant it. We moved out 7 days after the baby came. There it is. I do have a small boundary. I am furious and in shock on our first day in the van. We don't even have enough cash for diapers or anything beyond coffee. This is how we became legitimately homeless. I was breastfeeding off fumes and made a sign to panhandle, which I still possess. My baby and I positioned ourselves on a busy city thoroughfare. It was Granville Street, Vancouver. Welfare is off the table. I'd just received student loan money. Where was it? They would ask. The government people would ask, and then probably remove the baby from us. Sitting on the sidewalk under upon a small blanket, I held our newborn, my beautiful son. My face burned under the skeptical gaze of each passerby. Many never turned to look. Quite soon, a woman in her late 40s begins conversing with me. Eleanor. She asks many questions. I answer each question honestly and hold her gaze. And as her eyes alternate between me and the baby. Eventually, she asserts, I'll come back. I have zero expectations that she will. I silently remained on the blanket, holding our baby boy, who would remain nameless for the next 30 days. I love him so much and have no regrets about bringing him into the world. By God's grace, nobody calls child protection on us. I look like an upstanding citizen and present well. I am polite and have a good smile. When Eleanor returned, her iron eyes sought truth from my being. I emphatically repeated everything she'd asked before. Eventually, she leaned in to hug us and handed me a wad of bills. My heart nearly exploded with gratitude. We could buy supplies. I watched her walk away, amazed. My mouth slackened in amazement. SG was watching from the sidelines the whole time, and when I located him, his eyes lit up like a Christmas tree when I showed him the money. He pulled the wad from my hand, grasped it, and off trotted to the nearest liquor store. Why didn't I just walk away at that moment? SG had shared in our beginning how his mentally ill mom used Ajax to brush his teeth. He lived through hell and simply took whenever he could, made sure he got his share and more. My inner child met his and held him in my heart space with compassion, a motherly love. Strangely, whatever vile thing he did, I was empowered somehow to overlook. I felt I couldn't call my mom and dad, though looking back, they would have welcomed us with open arms. My heart sank once again. Amnesia wiped my memory every day, and I got a fresh reset to repeat all the same mistakes. With flexing hormones, I instinctually powered through in survival mode. College was a distant memory. That sweltering summer, we adjusted to life in a gutted van, and SG got a little painting job. SG and I lived on site in a tourist port within an oceanside public park. It's just so incredible how far my life has come since then. 28 years. My son is 28. And exactly half my age. I was 28 when I had him, and I am now 56. So as this story winds around, I'm always reflecting on dates. And what is amazing is that right now I'm assisting an alienated mom who's living in a van in a campground. And I think she's about day 4, day 5 in the campground. And she lost her home. The bailiff came. It was a long fight of financial sabotage by her alienator. She told me that as she was moving out, getting things after the sheriff had removed her, how her abuser came to help a little bit. And she has epilepsy and she has some serious health issues. And she collapsed. And it was just him and her in that space this past week. And she needed water. And she was laying on the ground. And she said she needed water. But he didn't go and get it for her. He just let her lay there in need of water. So this is the situation. And I know this kind of cruelty, this kind of torturous abuser. And I'm so grateful. So take a deep breath with me. It's as I'm now strong enough to help my friend in this situation, the same time frame, that I was homeless. She's got a daughter, about 12 or 13. The daughter came to stay overnight in the camp with her, in the campground. So I'm just praying that people will rise up and to assist her. And if you're an alienated parent, like Christiana says, this is not a new story. So many people are in these kinds of situations. And I just want to assure you that you can heal, and you can forgive, to release yourself, to free yourself. And actually, when we forgive, since I've forgiven, those memories and the anguish and the pain and the depression have left me, finally, after decades and decades. So my heart goes out to anyone who's an alienated parent. And I just ask that God reinstate your relationship with your child, makes a way, and that you stay with us, that you do not take your life, that you stay. And I'm so glad that I've stayed and I've went through the hard years of feeling so much pain and heartache. And I am still alienated from my eldest son, who will be 32. So it's our 20th year of alienation. So I'm praying for that reconciliation between us as well. So this book is really has a lot of the journey of, the young trauma from a young age. And, the unsafe parent and the unavailable father who wasn't nurturing. He was there in body, but he was gone in his mind. He wasn't able to love me or affirm me. And so I was so hungry for love, so starving for love. But, God has supernaturally shown himself to me through the years. And we are not alone. And we are loved. We just have to allow it in. And sometimes the ones we want to love us aren't loving us. But let the ones in, the safe ones in, who extend love and kindness, and soak it in and and let that strengthen you for your journey. Okay? So much love on this beautiful celebration day, 28 years later. And I've been very well taken care of. I have a beautiful life now. And my story, I can just assure you, you can really heal from so much. Have a beautiful day wherever you are. Much love. Bye for now.